Welcome back to News Talk. Joining us now as we continue with Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett, his Prince George's counterpart, Prince George's Executive Rushern Baker, the third. Welcome to you. Good to have you both here. This is a blast because you guys have known each other.
Oh gosh. 30
years. I mean,
at least since,
you were a student in Professor Leggett's class.
That's
at
right.
Howard Law.
That's right. 1983, I went to Howard Law School, and Dean Leggett was there.
Did you see anything in the young Rushern Baker that suggested even remotely? I mean, the odds of this are well, I mean,
first of all the
odds of this are astounding because, one, Rushern's ramming his head into the county executive door took a couple tries, but that notwithstanding.
Well, first of all of the students at Howard generally are very good. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for some of them to move to the level of their long-term interests and development, but he got there and he's done an outstanding job, and I'm extremely proud of his progress and the work that he's
So what is it like to have the same job, your jobs bring you together all the time? We'll be talking in a second about next year's legislative session in Annapolis and what the D.C. region counties hope to achieve, but what's it like to have been the student and now you're a peer? I mean, are you teaching him about politics now?
No. I mean, it is beneficial in the fact that, when I took this job as county executive, I was able to call Ike and say, well, what should I expect? How should I deal with Wall Street and those things? And I have someone I trust. It's also interesting, and to go back, is a number of us at the school started working on campaigns in law school, and we either worked on Ike's campaign for county council or Alex Williams for state's attorney, and that's how we really got involved in politics. So to have it come full circle is great.
Well, I don't look at it as student-teacher relationship. I look at it as peers and the co-county executives, and I'm proud to have the opportunity to work with him. Immensely proud when you see the accomplishments that he's made in Prince George's County and the benefits that it has not only for Prince George's County but for the state of Maryland and throughout the entire region. I think he's done an outstanding job.
Coming after Jack Johnson, Rushern Baker represents what?
It represents some level of hope. It represents a new wave of energy and professionalism. To some degree, that as well. But I think when you look at his overall accomplishments, you can say that he stands on his own. He's done a terrific job. And I think for Prince George's County, for the state of Maryland, we are delighted to see him in office and the accomplishments he's achieved thus far. I think that he's going to have even a brighter future going ahead.
You were head of the state party for a time. Could he be governor someday?
Oh, sure. He has the qualities and the capabilities to do so. But there are a lot of people out there who are interested in being governors. Right now, we have a governor who's in office who's fairly popular with over 60% rating, and by most accounts, he's doing a pretty good job. But I think that that's something that he would have to evaluate going down in the future.
Well, evaluate now. We're showing you're here. We've got the time.
That's what I love about this, Bruce. I think, one of the things that we've tried to do together is really just kind of move the Washington region and the state forward. And so working on things like education and transportation. So we'll continue to do that. Both of us have 3 years left in our terms, and so.
Have you talked about the 2016 session yet? What's the #1 ask?
I think for us in Prince George's County, the #1 ask has been to our hospital to release the $15 million that is in the budget right now that the governor could release today for our hospital moving forward in Prince George's County. Next to that is we've got $20 million, and I think it's like $69 million for geographic index for both Montgomery County, Prince George's County, but also for Baltimore County. That's school aid, which is important. So school money is always going to be #1 up there too.
And I'll say the same thing for us, because we are growing in our school enrollment in Montgomery County about 2,600 to 2,800 students per year, and that's occurred for the last 5 or 6 years and is likely to continue. So we need more money for schools, more money for school construction, and of course more money for transportation.
Why is money being withheld?
The governor has made a decision that as indicated before, we disagree, and I hope that based on the way the General Assembly has worded the legislation, that money will be released in the future, because we have a terrific impact in the Washington metropolitan area in terms of cost of education that I think at this point in time, given where the state stands in terms of its overall budget, that I look to have a positive decision from the governor.
Right, the same thing. I mean, I think now that the state is seeing that it's actually had more money than it expected when the General Assembly was there, there's no reason really to withhold the money for either the education funding or for the hospital. And so we're hoping the governor will look at that and release those dollars, because we're going to come back into this session and ask for more dollars for education and school construction and transportation.
Why is it that every couple cycles, it seems, we had Schaefer and Glendenning, Democrats, and then Bob Ehrlich, a moderate Republican. Then we had 4 years of Martin O'Malley, and now Larry Hogan, a moderate Republican. Why do voters seem to send, and both of those Republicans got to run against Democrats who ran weak campaigns, most people believe, but why do voters look for like an outsider type to come into a capital that's controlled by Democrats every couple cycles, or it's been twice now in just the last decade and a half? Why is that happening?
That's a very interesting question, and I do not know the answer to that, but I think to some degree you can speculate that after you've had a time to reflect on some of the changes that have been made, people may look for a refreshing voice and may want change. But it's hard to predict precisely why they made that change and why they made that decision. One, of course, could speculate about a variety of things, but I do not have an answer as to that.
Is there anything else in terms of what you guys will be seeking in Annapolis? We only have a couple seconds left. What you'll be seeking or trying to prevent in a more defensive posture taking, as we've seen in recent...
Well, in my case, I want to keep what I already have. I don't want to lose $30 million.
Exactly. I think we're both trying to make sure we don't lose any more money, but we get more money back for education is going to be key, but also transportation.
Prince George's County Executive Sharon Baker, Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett, thank you both so much. Congressman John Delaney joins us next. Keep it here.